Hello there, welcome and thank you for joining us on another edition of the Evening Review. My name is Ogito Greg, and in studio with me this evening, Mr. Vijay Jha. He is the Chief Operating Officer and Senior Partner with R&J Steytler Management Consultants. How are you, sir?
I'm good, Greg. Thank you for having me here. And having known you for such a long time and admiring your work, it's indeed an honor to be here.
Thank you very much. And speaking about work, sir, you recently, or at least your company recently released a report in which you say that Namibia is positioned to be a growth leader for the region. Why do you think that?
We engage investors and business leaders domestically, internationally. And some of the things those stand out in those communications. Political stability would be the first one. Second is policy direction. At least that policy direction, I would like to refer to Her Excellency's message in the state visit about the skill transfer that stood out for me. Yes. That's a policy direction which is in the right frame.
Yeah.
Then our geographic location, our mineral wealth, and our hospitable environment for business growth.
Okay.
Those are something that are not available in many places.
Okay.
Which puts Namibia in a unique position as an attractive destination.
I see. We are also obviously all eagerly awaiting the announcement of the final investment decision in terms of the oil that was discovered. But I wanted to find out from you, especially bearing in mind our historic economic structure. If the oil money comes, who will enjoy it? Who will benefit?
We do fear at R&J that it might go to most of the Namibian might not experience it directly, and we would like some changes in the policy direction. Since it is about to come now, we will get to know where it goes. But initially, at the moment, maybe looks like institutional investors, the oil companies, which is absolutely fine. Yes. It's absolutely okay, because for us, oil is a tool to create prosperity. It's an inexhaustible resource. Someday it will finish.
Yes.
So this should create that breadth, that cushion of industrialization, of growth, of inclusion. So once the direction, the policies comes out, we will have, hopefully we will have more inclusion into it.
Okay. You mentioned industrialization, and as a country we have long had the aspiration to industrialize. How would the oil income help us to establish or to progress in terms of industrialization?
At R&J, we would like to suggest at least 4 points. The first would be to create a cushion against the oil prices fluctuation.
Okay.
Or a cushion against the debt restructuring that we have. Then savings for future generation. As I mentioned, it's an inexhaustible resource. It's not infinite.
Yes.
And then it is, as much as we have it, our future generation should benefit from it as well.
Yes.
Then lastly, I will say that domestic investment, skill transfer, inclusion, and all that.
Okay. So those speak to some of the recommendations that were in the report regarding fiscal responsibility, fiscal efficiency, and also about local revenue mobilization. Can you expand a little bit about what do those things look like?
See, the fiscal responsibility basically means that expenditure remains contained within our revenue of today. We should not be expending on the future revenue.
Okay.
Then it comes to the fiscal efficiency. That means that every dollar we spend is measured. Once it is measured, we can actually make it more efficient. So that speaks to the fiscal responsibility and efficiency. That comes to when we mentioned about the revenue maximization.
Yes.
See, we can't tax our way to prosperity.
Okay.
The tax rates should remain benign, whereas the revenue maximization should be the goal. Broadening the revenue as well. And then that's how we actually get more income to the exchequer, rather putting burden to the ordinary Namibian, in especially high cost of debt environment.
But if we look at those three things a little bit closely, let's start with the fiscal responsibility. I mean, currently Namibia has significant debt. We are already borrowing to be able to meet our developmental as well as operational requirements. It would seem that to achieve fiscal responsibility, as you've illustrated it, would require some changes. It's not something that we are currently doing, or am I understanding it wrong?
We are not recommending reduction in expenditure.
Okay.
Because we are a growing economy. The expenditure is required for industrialization, schools, hospitals, roads, railways. So we just need to fine-tune it more. It's not that the capital is not available. Domestic capital, if it is high cost, there's international collaborations available, which can be utilized, against our wealth, our richness. See, I would like to point out here that we have examples of economies, those are mineral rich, but they did not convert into prosperity. Because of those, I feel that responsibility and efficiency, we must learn that lesson from them, that what not to do.
If we look at fiscal efficiency, that seems to be at the heart of many complaints that citizens raise all the time. There's huge budgets, money is allocated, but the end result is often not satisfactory. How does one achieve fiscal efficiency on a national level, on a government level? Is it even possible?
It is accountability. That is one of the most important things, where we can, and then it's not for the blame game or finger pointing. It is to help that how do we make it more efficient. Every dollar, as I said, that must be measured. Every expenditure, what did it get us?
If we look at maximizing local revenue, there are certain sectors of society, especially if you look at entrepreneurs, people who are trying to escape poverty and build something, who are crying at the moment because of the increased avarice from NAMRA, our national tax collector. They seem to be targeting that section of society which we would want to be able to build something. Apart from taxing our people more strictly, where would that local revenue come from?
This is a good question, actually. See, we need to broaden the tax base.
Yeah.
Every income should be taxed. What level, at what category, that can be debated. But we can't say that, all right, we're going to let some people go. We can debate about the rates, we can debate about the brackets. So maybe, similar to other economies, layered approach on the taxation or something, that can be discussed.
Okay. In the report, you also touched on other funding sources that Namibia might be able to pursue. I remember reading something about environmental funds. Could you expand a bit about what those opportunities are and how we would have to pursue them?
See, we discussed that infrastructure spending cannot be limited, especially at the point we are at. And domestically, cost of debt is high.
Yes.
Historically, we have, our SOEs remain very important, and they have to be supported. Historically, we have been supporting them with local raised fundings. There can be some changes because the cost of capital outside is lower, and the expertise, they are looking to join and partner up and join into the progress of Namibia. So those things can be addressed, and if those expertise, that capital can be involved, we actually benefit, in multiple ways.
Okay, excellent. Thank you, Mr. Jha, and thank you for being with us. We're going to take a short commercial break, but we'll be right back with more of this interesting economic conversation on the Evening Review. Welcome back to the Evening Review. My name is Ogito Greg, and we are continuing our conversation with Mr. Vijay Jha, the Senior Partner and Chief Operating Officer of R&J Steytler Management Consulting. Mr. Jha, in the recent report that R&J Steytler released, there were some structural reforms that were suggested. Could you elaborate a little bit and expand upon what structural reforms do you think would benefit Namibia?
We would like to see, better ease of business.
Okay.
On the earlier section, you did mention that small entrepreneurs they struggle with these.
Yes.
More cohesion between the departments, more cohesion between the ministry. Only restriction should be for a person to willingness to pursue a worthy goal.
Okay.
There should not be restrictions on the infrastructure side. A student filing for a college application.
Yes.
Internet should not be a restriction. A young professional from a remote village going for an interview. Transport should not be a restriction. There should be more cohesion into it. Infrastructure development is prime importance. Railway, roads, those are some of the major important things here.
Although we've had quite a bit of success in terms of our roads, and we're very proud of it, one area where we do lag behind is with the railway development. And one of our very important state-owned enterprises for that is Namib, the custodian of our rail services, although not of our rail infrastructure as such. But how do you think we can improve the end product that Namib delivers, especially now in a time when we need it to improve so quickly and so desperately?
Namib is very important. It's vital for us.
Yes.
You've been asking me a question. Let me post one to you. Any developed economy that has done well in last 50, 100 years, you wouldn't find any, you would always find a robust railway network. Now consider Walfish Bay Port Corridor. It's not only for us, it's a gateway for neighboring countries as well.
Yes.
And an efficient railway, network, a reliable delivery, doesn't need to be high speed. A reliable, efficient railway.
Yes.
That is the backbone of development.
Yes.
We would wish that Namib involves more international partners, more skill building, local training, and more approach to more learning to how others have done it. I mean, South Africa, they are reviving it as well. They have understood it as well. So those kind of cohesion is very important for that. And then I will go to an extent saying that without Namib, it would be very challenging to realize that goal of industrialization.
I see. But don't you think that perhaps the decline in terms of the service that Namib is able to deliver is a natural progression of the structure of our society? What I mean is somebody who has 25 years of experience working on the rail in technical capacity is seen as easily replaceable, not as valuable as an executive who's sitting in the boardroom. And so that institutional knowledge and those skills are quickly cast by the side whenever there's a change in direction or a shake-up within the company. And we've lost repeatedly all the people who had the hands-on know-how to keep the train running until we get to a point where we now have a fleet of locomotives of which a small percentage is still operational.
I agree on to this, that the respect to the skill and experience, you can't replace that.
But how do we change that? I mean, that's how we do things.
The structural change will have to be necessary. More private partnership will be necessary, where business acumen can take hold there.
I see.
Bottom lines are important. But again, I will stress that SOE, and especially like Trans-Namib, it's not a business in itself. You can't look at it in a profitability perspective. It's a backbone. It's an enabler. Of course, some justification has to be there.
Yeah.
That it is, it's not, you don't squander. But at the same time, we need to see the value it brings.
Yes.
So but I will repeat again that this should be the backbone of our industrialization.
Okay. Talking about industrial backbones and things that are invaluable in terms of industry and in terms of economic development, the utilities, specifically the power utility, NAM Power, the water utility, NAM Water, they are essential. But we need citizens and businesses to have access to quality, reliable, and affordable power and water. How will we enable that going into the future?
Using our mineral wealth, that is the road to prosperity. I mean, prosperity is, let me give you an example. I mean, having a Ferrari and not having a road to drive is useless. So prosperity is when the quality of life improves.
Yes.
Water, electricity, those things are affordable.
Yes.
Internet, as I mentioned, transportation, those things are accessible, affordable for every corner of Namibians. In remote corner, it is available, it is affordable. This is where we need to go. And all those mineral wealth, whether oil and gas, whether mining, these are the tools. They're not going to last forever.
Yeah.
But the prosperity will.
So do you think that the recently announced partnership between Swakop Uranium and NAM Water to build our national desalination plant, which will be right next to the first desalination plant, the only other one that we have, do you think that that model is an example of the direction in which we as a country need to go in order to take the mineral wealth and help it to improve the quality of the end result from our utilities? Indeed.
I mean, cohesion has to be there, although I don't know all the details of this particular transaction, but cohesion has to be, it should be supported, it should be encouraged.
Okay. Yeah, in this particular case, obviously the mine is investing in the desalination plant because it has a huge need for water as it stands, a reliable supply, and it they have ambitions to grow Namibia to be the second largest uranium supplier in the world. We are currently third. It's the biggest mine in the country, Husap, and they need the water for themselves, but in the process and in the agreement, water will also be supplied specifically to the Rongo region, where there are many other mines and growing towns, including Swakopmund, Arandis, and most specifically Walvis Bay, which we mentioned already previously in our short discussion.
Based on that information, I would say that this is creating an ecosystem, which is beautiful.
Okay. So we should look at holistic development?
It's development for all. Development, all richness should benefit Namibian to prosperity.
That brings me to another question which I wanted to ask you, and it's something that has always been bothering me. Namibia is a rich country full of poor people. All my life it's been that way. Should we as Namibians resign ourselves to the fact that Namibia will always be a rich country full of poor people?
Absolutely not. Not at all. None.
How do we change that? Because, you know, as soon as you are in power, as soon as you have the opportunity to affect that change, you are also now one of the rich people. Why would you, once you get there to be the beneficiary, once you get to the top, why would you want to bring yourself down closer to the people that you've left behind? I mean, that's not human nature. So how does a country escape that reality?
Actually, I have a lot of faith in current leadership. That message of skill transfer, capacity building, that echoes. If you'll see that in the short tenure, two of the biggest economies in the world either paid visit or there was a state visit.
Yeah.
That's a very positive signal
for
us that the world is interested in us.
Mm-hmm.
And with that interest, the expertise comes, the accountability comes. I have worked and traveled to a lot of African countries, and then it's my belief that the legal system in Namibia, the labor law, etc., and it's very robust as compared to other places.
Okay.
Yes, and then I'm quite proud of it. You know, so I wouldn't think that this would remain a status quo. The education level are rising. People are becoming more aware of their surrounding.
Yes.
And there is a shift in politics also reflecting the same. It might not happen tomorrow.
Yeah.
It might not happen next month. But I do see that changes.
I'll illustrate my worry. We have pinned a lot of our hope on industrialization for many, many years, and we have tried to achieve that, and we are still trying to achieve that. But in the meantime, industrialization itself has changed fundamentally. It is no longer a big factory with lots of workers. Now, it's a big factory with lots of robots, some AI, and you really don't need many people working there. You don't need a lot of jobs. We've got a lot of hope and ambition placed on renewable energy. But once you build the solar farm, then the construction jobs are no longer there, and you only need 5 or 6 people to run the farm. All of our development as mankind is moving away from jobs. And without jobs, I don't see how development is going to alleviate widespread poverty and inequality. Even if we talk about the oil and the oil money, you know, we have a long history of using money to subjugate the masses and elevate a few. It's not automatic that because we're going to have more money, people will get enough food, adequate shelter, clothing, or any of their basics covered just because there's more money. So I'm trying to see how we won't just make things worse with all of this development.
I have a 14-year-old child, and sometimes I worry about it as well. But then I think that I've lived through the computer era. A lot of jobs were replaced,
yes,
but they were not gone. They reskilled. Mm-hmm. So continuous reskilling, continuous improvement. And think about AI, Greg, that it's actually an enabler. There were a lot of jobs that people couldn't afford to hire,
yes,
couldn't access those skills.
yes.
People can now.
Yes.
So it can be thought that way as well, that artificial intelligence, technological development, it's actually an enabler.
Okay.
But in every profession, and you will agree in yours as well, reskill never stops.
Yes.
And that should be the method to it.
Thank you very much, Mr. Jha. And thank you very much to all of you, our audience, for joining us for this edition of the Evening Review. Of course, tomorrow evening we'll be doing something else. And I hope you also have a wonderful weekend. Until we meet again, good night.
Thank you, Greg.